Hi, Namrita.
Hi, Tripti. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Thank you so much.
So, Namrita, so you have written this very interesting book called The Dinner Table Economy. Can you please tell us what exactly this book is about?
Sure. So, a lot of us, we think that we learned about finances once we take up commerce or we do MBA or when we are put in some classroom. The fact is, the most important lesson around money, it does not wait till the time you've completed your basic education. It starts at your dinner table while you were growing up. Maybe you were put on high-rise chair because you were a toddler and nobody asked you anything, but you saw your mom went silent. You saw someone shouting. You saw someone sacrificing. Those were the moments where your lessons around money has already started.
Hi,
With money.
Namrita. Absolutely, absolutely, Namrita. I can
With money.
very well relate to what you are saying because, yes, these were the very important dinner table discussions, during our dinner time with our family. And even now, I talk about this with my daughters. So I would like to ask you, Namrita, what inspired you to write this book? So I would
While
like to.
I was growing up, we were like a good family. Basics were in place. There were not many high aspiration or anything. When I started earning, even though I had no such big expectation to carry a luxury bag at work or anything, but I never could make myself comfortable owning it, even if money was not a criteria. For years, I thought money is a criteria for me to have access to luxury product, but that came a tipping point where money was no longer a criteria. And that got me into thinking, why do I not feel comfortable around owning things which may have low utility, but it would have lot of comfort, a lot of luxury appeal, lot of satisfaction. And that's when I realized that it has nothing to do with money. It's
Absolutely.
all about what is my relationship with money. And couple more examples came from my introspection in day-to-day life, which I've put all of them in the book.
Right.
That how emotions are the driver of any financial decision we make. And it's not always about numbers.
I would
While
like to ask you, Namrita, that how will you convince the readers, in 30 seconds that they should read your book?
why should you read my book? Then I would say we don't inherit money first. We always talk about money as an inheritance. इसके दादाजी ने ये देके गए, इसके परदादा ये देके गए, इसके पापा ने इसके लिए फ्लैट रखा है, शादी में इतना दहेज दिया है. We
Absolutely.
always talk about money as an inheritance,
Yeah.
but we rarely speak about money beliefs being inherited subconsciously. Because you are going to make similar financial decision what you've seen your parents doing it. And
Right.
it's very important for us to rewire those beliefs because we are no longer in same economic environment which your parents and grandparents were at.
Right.
So if
Right.
you want to build an amazing life for yourself, it's time for you to grab this book.
You must have come up with various concepts in this book, which you would like to, tell the readers your favorite concept.
Mm. The theme of the book is very core to my heart.
Okay.
And the book is based on three principles, which is very core. And the first is of respect your roots and upgrade your rules. Because a lot of these beliefs that we have around money or the sentences that we speak, we've heard, and we those sentences like "पैसे पेड़ पे नहीं उगते हैं" and all of those, they are told to us by our parents out of deep love and care for us. Because they had their life experiences which taught them they should behave in so and so way. So we've got all of this from them. So we have to respect the roots, the beliefs, and everything that we got from them. At the same time, we have to upgrade the rules. Today, it is no longer about पैसे पेट पे नहीं उगते. Today, it is about मैं पैसे कैसे उगा सकती हूँ. So you have to upgrade those rules based on today's environment, based on your current situation, and how you can work around it. So you keep those basic learning that you got from your parents. There's another saying which says पैसे बचाओगे तो ही काम आएगा. That's very important. What you need to save money. If you want to spend, if you want to invest, if you want to donate, if you want to transfer, you want to do anything with money. But the basic premise is save. So it's not that you discard saving itself from your life because you don't want don't want to go through those previous life experiences of your parents and all. Start with saving, but upgrade the rules. They invested in fixed deposit. You invest in some different avenues because today there are a lot of avenues. So respect the rules and upgrade the rule. That's the first principle. Second is money is not a math, money is memory. So this is the second principle on which this book is written. First, right from the time I was growing up, I heard name of one person, Mr. Warren Buffett. And the only way he earned a lot of money is through the principle of compounding. And I, being a finance person, I thought I have to ensure compounding is happening in my money. Only last couple of years I realized that money is not only math, it's the memory.
Okay.
What is your association with money will decide how far you will grow in your money journey.
Okay.
If there is a subconscious association with scarcity, fear, control, guilt, shame around money, which are the different chapters in the book, then your relationship with money will revolve around that. How do you want to build a peaceful prosperity? If that is your thing, then that's a new relationship that you'll have to build around money.
Absolutely, absolutely. What is the takeaway, final takeaway from this book? What is the
takeaway that I would like to say is that goal should be to have an aligned freedom. So if your goal is to travel, then save and invest money so you have a travel fund which you can spend. But if your goal is to be at a one location and enjoy around that, or if your goal is to own a house, then invest money in that. You don't need to copy goal of somebody else. Your goal around money is what you'll have to define. And once you're able to define, you'll have to reach to a place where you feel freedom around money. That's the core premise there. Once we work on our beliefs, when we work on our emotion around money, we aspire to become an individual who can thoroughly enjoy freedom around money.
So the readers, if you really are interested and want to know more about Namrata and her book, The Dinner Table Economy, please follow her at _money_conversations_. Follow Namrata Shah to know more about her book. Thank you so much, Namrata, for reinventing the beliefs which we all have inherited, but you have put it in a great comprehensive way in this book, The Dinner Table Economy. So I would like to thank you once again for coming and talking to me on this Meet the Author. Thank you so much, Namrata.
Thank you, Tripti. It's my pleasure speaking to you.